Hello, and welcome to CareSmartz360 On Air. I'm Dennis Gill, Senior Sales Consultant at CareSmartz. Scaling a home care agency sounds exciting until the cracks start to show. Many agencies grow fast, but few grow right. So in this episode, we are joined by Kara, business owner at Senior Helpers, who brings real-world insights from leading a trusted care brand serving private pay, LTCI, and VA clients. So she breaks down what most agencies get wrong about scaling and how to build systems, teams, and care experiences that actually sustain growth without losing what matters most. So, welcome to the podcast, Kara.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No, we're really glad you were able to take out the time today for our listeners, and I hope this session is a pretty fruitful one for all listeners who are listening to us from all over the world. Okay, so
Thank you.
without wasting any time, I'll straight away jump in the first question for you. So, Kara, when agencies say they want to scale, what do you think they actually mean, and where do they start getting it wrong?
Right. So, in my experience, most agencies thinks growing is just adding more sales and more hours to the books,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually what is important is the real growth is doing it the right way.
Okay,
So, the caregivers, the system, and communication all needs to work together.
okay,
For example, an agency might add several clients to their books in 1 week, but if they
got it.
don't have the right caregivers and the system in place,
Mm-hmm.
you will see that it will cause last minute scheduling problems,
Yeah,
caregivers are going to get stressed, and ultimately that's going to result in clients having negative experience. My
definitely.
experience is my slogan will always be happy caregivers, happy team, happy clients.
Yep,
So
correct.
I think that's what the biggest issue, growing too fast without actually having the system in place.
Okay, got that, got your point. And at what
Mhm.
point does growth begin to hurt more than it helps? And what are the early warning signs agencies that often ignore?
That's a great question. Growth starts hurting when the quality drops.
Uh-huh.
And you'll see open shifts, you'll see caregiver burnout, you'll see your family started complaining. And early warning signs of growth hurting your quality of service is constant scheduling issues,
Okay,
caregiver turnover, your families started to complain. And that usually means that your foundation is not supporting your growth.
okay,
And growth without foundation will burn out your team and your business.
definitely. Correct, correctly said.
Yeah.
Foundation is very important in every aspect. Not only, I would say, in the home care agency, even if we are building something. In a building, also foundation is the base thing. If that is not correct, the building would obviously it not be in the right place that it should be.
It is. And I think it's more so relevant to what we do because we're in people business.
Yeah,
You gotta have the structure. You gotta take your time, learn it, and grow in pace. Mhm.
definitely, definitely. And how should agencies rethink their operations before scaling, especially around scheduling, caregiver management, and care
Mhm.
consistency?
The way I do it here, we focus on three areas:
Hmm.
the hiring,
Okay,
scheduling, and consistency of care.
okay,
Now, hiring is critical. Like you need to hire the right caregiver before you grow.
got it.
No, you grow and then
Then you
you
hire.
hire in a rush. You gotta get the right people in the right place before
Hmm.
you grow, so you can grow.
Got it.
And scheduling, second part, of course, scheduling and hiring goes hand in hand. So
Yep,
the scheduling needs to be efficient. It needs to be proactive, not reactive.
got
Like
it.
here, we do schedules 2 weeks out at the minimum. We
Okay,
like the consistency. We like the same caregiver so that they can build that relationship with their clients. So therefore, we make sure we set this schedule out at least 2 weeks, but more, so that the caregiver knows I have these shifts and the clients knows I have the same caregiver.
okay.
And the consistency of care, all of our care plans are individualized, they
Hmm.
are relevant to our clients, and they're updated regularly. because that
Okay.
doesn't only help your clients, that helps
Yeah.
your caregivers. Remember, we want to keep our caregivers happy. We want to keep them working with us. And if they have the right care plan in hand, then they
Hmm.
can deliver that quality care we need for our clients. So those three areas I highly recommend. That's my bread and butter. That's what I focus on day in, day out here in Senior Helpers.
Okay, good to know that.
Mhm.
And many agencies expand revenue streams like private pay, LTCI, VA while scaling. And what mistakes do they make in managing their peer mix specifically?
Yeah. So, I mean, we love different payers, of course, private pay, long-term insurance, VA, and there are other things that you can do, work with the counties. But again, if you don't have your system in place,
Hmm.
and because every payer is so different, what
Yeah.
documentation they ask, the timeline they pay, their expectations is very different. And if you take on more than you can handle and you don't have the system in place,
Hmm.
then you're going to run into billing issues. Then it's
Yeah.
going to lead to cash flow. So as a business owner, we already have a lot going on. And if you start worrying about your cash flow,
Hmm.
then that's going to compromise your quality of care. But our
Definitely.
only focus should be quality of care, our caregivers, and then hopefully, the finance will take care of itself. But slow down, get your system in place before you take on another payer, because every payer has, like I said, their own expectations, timeline, and so you don't want to outstretch yourself before you set your system in place.
So we can say step by step, they should move into it, not going in all for all the payers in one go. That can also be one
Absolutely. I
thing.
understand. I'm a private pay seems pretty straightforward, but
Yeah.
again, there are things, check payers, ACH payers,
Hmm.
the ones that wants to pay on the day of the is due, and the other ones wants to pay later on. So there is so much
Yeah.
more to it. And long-term insurance the same. You have to have your care logs in place. They have different
Hmm.
timeline of paying. So if you're already worried about cash flow and you add in these payers, remember, you already paid the caregiver. Now you're going to sit down and wait for getting paid from these third parties.
Yeah.
So, my highly recommendation is before you add in another payer, understand their expectation, understand their timeline of how quickly they pay
Hmm.
before you go down that road. So you're not worried about your cash flow, because worrying about cash flow will affect your quality of service.
Definitely it does. Definitely it does.
Mhm.
And as we move into 2026, we're already into 3 months into that. What will separate agencies that scale successfully from those that struggle to sustain growth, according to you?
To me, these are what I'm going to focus, and I just want to share it with everybody. So my three areas of focus this year is the caregiver retention.
Hmm.
So that is so important. We're looking at different ways on how we can improve our caregivers' quality of life, how we can make it different, difference in their lives, and how we can make them choose our agency compared to the other agencies.
Got it.
Efficiency in our systems. We are always looking for the ways to improve. We have our regular meetings and we grow. We're in a growth stage right now, but again, I'm taking my time, making sure I don't grow too fast where
Too
I'm
fast.
stressing my office team and my care team.
Hmm.
Third one is the consistent client experience. You
Okay.
know, we technology will help,
Hmm.
and it's helping. But the
Yeah.
human side of what we do, building those relationships, talking to our clients, is one of the biggest differentiator of any agency. You got to
Yeah.
care for your clients as much as you care for your caregivers and keep that human touch, keep that
Human
relationship.
touch.
Mhm.
Human touch is definitely required. And linking to that only, my next question would be for you that
Oh,
AI. AI
mhm.
is becoming a big part of home care now. Every
It
business,
is.
not home care, every business. So where do you
Mhm.
see it helping agencies scale smarter, and where should they be cautious about it?
Yeah, I like AI, and I know there's no going away from it. It is what it
Hmm.
is. It's there, and I think it can definitely help in regards to maybe scheduling, maybe some documentations, maybe prediction of staffing needs, and it
Yeah.
can definitely help the operations,
Hmm.
and maybe even help caregivers. But we are very much a human-driven business. The
Yes.
relationships what sets us apart. So we have to be careful. I use AI, and other agencies should use AI. Why not? It's there, it's great. It will help your operation. But you don't forget, this is a very much of a business relationship driven business. You
Got it.
have to keep your relationships strong with your families that you care for, as well as
Yeah.
your caregivers that delivers that care for you.
Yeah.
So that's my only take is I'm gonna work, I'm gonna work with technology. Of course, we're open to AI and, help with the day-to-day operations. But yeah, human touch is always going to be there for what we do. We're in healthcare, it's about
Yeah.
people's loved ones.
I know, because I've been into this industry now for, as I'm telling you, for 7 years. Human touch and human emotions is a very major part of this industry, as you are already aware about that. And AI, I know it would come up handy, again, as you were saying, basically into the day-to-day scheduling. It can be, or somewhat other things, but that's human touch should not be missed by any of the agencies that are growing, or even if they have grown already.
Absolutely. Like we have 24/7 lines here, and
Okay.
most people call us they're seniors, they're hard of hearing, or
Mm-hmm.
when they say, "Hey, I'm Susie," and the person answering the phone, "Oh, hi, Susie, how are you? How is your cat? How is your dog? How is your daughter?" That
Yeah.
AI can't take
That
that
AI
over.
can't. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah. And that sets us apart here too. We don't use call centers, we answer our own phones. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's one of our success here, that human touch, one-to-one communications that we have.
Perfect. Good to know that. Good to know that. It was great talking to you today, Kara. I know it was a small session. In future, we would love to have much longer sessions and understand more about your working style, and that could help our listeners more on that. We would definitely have to again on our session with you.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate the time, and I'm happy to share my experiences.
Oh, thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you for your time. And thank you to all my listeners today. So I'm Dennis Gill signing off today, and I'll be meeting you shortly then. Bye bye.
Thank you.